Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Plus, this cat is crazy. What do you... Yeah, good idea. Drink out of the coffee mug. For those of you who don't know, coffee, or at least caffeine, poisonous to cats. I guess on a certain level is poisonous to human beings as well, but the LD50 is like, you know, a kilogram or something like that. Stop! Okay, fine. You can sit on my lap. But if you try to jump up on the table, I'm gonna be real mad. Oh! A very helpful friend of the channel. You're all friends of the channel in my world. Let me know, we need 2 things for 1,001%. We need to complete the bestiary. We also need to play 3 Skull Monty 100 times to unlock Counterfeit Penny. I don't believe I've ever seen Counterfeit Penny on this save file. So that's one of those things, like that's why I asked the question. Is because it's one of those things that you forget. You know, if you take a long time to unlock 1,001%, which I'm not saying I've done it in, you know, world record time, but if you take a long time, you know, months and months and, well, I guess it took us like a year. If it's hundreds or thousands of runs even to unlock it, it's just something you're gonna do naturally. We've been much more expedited in our performance here. Keep in mind, you know, the other thing is when you get 1,001%, starting from Rebirth, you tackle a lot of the stuff en route to getting 1,001%, en route to getting Golden God even, etc., etc. Whereas, I mean, nah, I'm torn. I definitely want Small Rock, but we might need more HP to make it happen with 0.98 speed. I'm not sure yet. Not a great move, all things considered, but anyway, I'm just saying, you know, a lot of the stuff that you do by accident, or at least, like, passively without even noticing, you have to do actively when you're unlocking it all on the, you know, the final version of the game, if you will. Although we do still have a booster pack coming, I think. I don't know. Anyway, this run starts very good. Above average rate of fire, completely acceptable speed. I'm just gonna level with you. First off, that was bad damage. The boomerang, I think, is kind of a trash tier item, but there's some utility involved with it that could be decent. Quarter from our first item room is also not bad. Penny for your thoughts, a quarter for the call, and all your father's love. You ever listen to the Wilkinsons? Probably not. I don't know. They were like a Canadian country trio that had a couple of big songs in the late 1990s. They were mostly well known in my geographic region because they were from, I think they were from like Belleville, Ontario, so they were pretty close to my hometown. It's got a marked history of music, that area. The Wilkinsons, don't forget about them, even though I just mentioned them. I'm gonna try this. I don't know why I would prefer to reroll that, but yeah, especially now that there's no Spirit Heart available. Doesn't seem so smart anymore. Spirit Heart, please, so I can get Small Rock. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Not good. Then another Spirit Heart, please. Little risky, but there we go. So I actually totally am okay with this, so we can get the Small Rock. X-Lax, please. Avril Lavigne from Greater Napanee, Ontario. You know, marked, like I said, storied history. Gord Downey of the Tragically Hip. Maybe other Tragically Hip members? I'm not actually aware. So our speed is horrible. I really should have bought that first Spirit Heart to give us a little cushion, but you gotta love this damage situation here. All you have to do is talk for a little while, and the cat decides, you know? That's like, okay, he's not giving me that much attention. I'm gonna get in the box, go to sleep, wake up when he's finished his work, and then it's attention time. HP? Blue cap. Beautiful choice. Thank you. But then when he's in the box, he looks so handsome, I gotta give him a little back of the neck pet, and he goes, oh, he loves it. He loves it. And then it's the cycle, because now that I pet him, he's like, why'd you stop? And now he wants the attention again. But I can't resist the cycle, dude. It's not like I don't get anything out of it. It's because the boy is so handsome. It's like, it feels like if I don't pet him, like I'm doing planet Earth a disservice. I actually think I do prefer teleport over the boomerang. Here's my problem with the boomerang. First off, it's such like inside baseball like minutia about Isaac that almost nobody cares about, but I hate that it essentially gives you like 2 times your tier delay in order to be able to shoot again. I find that extremely annoying because it means that it can't really be used offensively. Like, at best, it's slightly better than a wash, is the way that I see using the boomerang in combat. So most of the time, you just choose not to do it. Might give you a slight bit of safety. So then what is its actual benefit? Well, it can give you consumables that you can't get to, but you do have to remember that if you ever gain the ability to fly, the boomerang is now deprecated. Like, there's no functional use for it whatsoever. The other thing is, and I love that. You can't really get much benefit out of it yet, but I love it. So we're gonna do this to start with, but the other thing is the boomerang doesn't even allow us to like do, oh, never mind, it totally does. Disregard. I didn't think it worked like that. That's not how the Force works. I think we should stick with this, because we probably do want to go to our curse room after we've been to our deal with the devil. We kind of screwed up a lot of first deal with the devil opportunities here, so I would very much like to redeem myself and play a little better. I think I've been playing some bad Isaac lately. We haven't been punished for it too much. I mean, the run that we lost recently was because we chose to fight Delirium, so I think honestly I'm over it. I'm just gonna very, very rarely go to the Void now, because it's extremely bad for business and oftentimes not even that fun. And you know what? If I haven't earned skipping bosses I don't like, nobody on this freaking planet has. I'm not saying I got the most hours in this game all time, but probably got more than you. It's not trying to be a gatekeeper. I'm just saying, if you want to go back and watch a freaking Delirium run, go back and watch one of the myriad Delirium runs we got, okay? For now, I'm swearing off. Except I mean, come on, like special circumstances, I will consider it, but so we want to hit Curse Room. Damage is amazing, rate of fire is amazing. HP is fine, but obviously room for improvement. We can't, nah. Let's go peep this final room down here, which is, should have expected it to be something along those lines, I suppose. We'll go check this out quickly, and honestly, wouldn't mind starting the next floor, clean slate, but we'll take the bomb. I was thinking about, you know, what we should actually do is get to full HP and then pick up a couple of keys with Ace of Spades. I think that's the best use of our time right now. The run looks good. Don't waste a key going to the shop right now. You're only going to buy a Spirit Heart, which is not worth much. Today's present worldview. It's a great situation. We don't want... Oh, we were rolling Fishtail. I think we want to keep Fishtail. Fishtail's good. It has less upside than Bloody Penny. I mean, Bloody Penny is actually like one of the best items, one of the best trinkets in the game. Fishtail's just fun. It's one of those things where if you give me like a 10 out of 10 utility item or a 4 out of 10 damage upgrade, my initial reaction the majority of the time is going to be, oh, give me that 4 out of 10 damage upgrade. As poor as it might be. No, you don't get to hit me, okay? I haven't decided. You don't have the freaking right. You got the bloody right to say. Don't waste it. I was getting a little too cheeky for myself. You ever, you know, you're so smart, you think yourself into a dumb position with how smart you think you are. And if you just kept it simple, you'd be a lot, you know, you'd be better off. Like, I was like, well, we might as well pick up the key, because if we step on the 4 and it rerolls everything, we don't know what's in those other rooms. So it's almost like we never stepped on it at all. It's almost like we just got the same items. We will just assume that these are what we had in the item room to begin with. But that's stupid, because if we go in here and we go, this item's trash, which it isn't, but this also totally works here. Then we walk into the 4 room, we get an added benefit. It's not about our psychological perception of the issue. It's more about the fact that, you know, we can actually get an appreciable benefit out of it. Kind of wasted Dad's key, but so be it. What do we get? Hey, you know, Dry Baby. Always nice to see it on a run, especially the less HP you got, the more you look at a desiccated baby as a mitzvah. It's my personal opinion on the issue, you know? Dry Baby has saved us in a lot of situations. Now, we're not gonna... Don't expect the train wreck or anything here. I mean, are you looking at the stats? Or are you looking have me done with your finger and your thumb in the shape of an L in your forehead. In your forehead. Now that would be bad. On your forehead. Less. Less terrible. Less troubling, really. So Dad's key requires a little bit of a... You know, you use it in a different fashion. We're not going to use this for any kind of offensive benefit, but if we think there's a secret room, we should pop it. We should save our money as well, because we really want to get an arcade. I really can't stress enough, like... Yeah, it was the right time. How thankful I am that someone let me know. And I'm so thankful, I'm not even going to go to the subreddit to look up your name. That's how thankful I am, apparently. But, sincerely, there's so many little things like this in Isaac that you just totally forget about, or I've totally forgotten about. Let's grab it. We don't need the broken modem. What we want to save money for is the arcade so we can play this 3 Skull Monty. I hate to do it because we just paid for the Spirit Heart, but I kind of want to just go to the curse room right away. Obviously, we should have done this in a different order. My Isaac flowchart skills have been lacking. I think it's like a cockiness thing, you know? You start playing, or you play the game so much that you're like, I don't even need to pay attention to the stuff that normally has given me those victories in the first place. You know, you start to look at them as a crutch, and then it's not a crutch. That's why, like, you know, I think that's why regulation exists. You know, not to get, I don't consider this political, it's more of like an economic discussion, but that's why, like, you know, there's many, many, many fail-safes when you fly in an airplane, right? When you're a pilot, you've flown for, you know, Lufthansa for 35,000 hours or something ridiculous. You're like, I don't need to check the manifolds. I gave it a glance. The manifolds look good. The FAA is like, nah, you gotta check those manifolds. And wouldn't you know it, sometimes you get ice in the air intake, and who would have knows, a little bird strike happens, and all of a sudden you gotta sully yourself down in the Potomac. That was bad. A 10% chance to get a deal with the devil is good enough to be a little irritated that we threw it away, so not thrilled with myself for that. But yeah, this way I need an Isaac. I need an IAA. It's like, excuse me, did you, it looks like you're going to the shop to buy a Spirit Heart. Have you purchased, or have you noticed if there was a curse room yet? Because why would you throw some HP away? You know, that's, I think that's how you could take an Isaac run, or an Isaac player like myself, who's maybe like a 5 or 6 streaker on average, and turn him into like a, you know, a 100 streaker. It's just by having a trip sitter that's like, maybe don't buy that Spirit Heart yet, or you're fired. Paralysis. Never realized how menacing that man is. Paralysis. Like, for example, what would the IAA say about this situation? They would say, don't take Abel, because who knows? There could be a Perthrow rune, there could be a Yera rune. Well, Yera doesn't count. There could be a 4 rune. That does count. And they would be right. Dude, maybe that's what I can do. You know, like those StarCraft pros who, you know, eventually they hit 18 and they weren't able to compete anymore because of the high reflex and reaction time oriented nature of that game. They all turned into coaches, right? StarCraft coaches and streamers. That's what I do. That's what I'll do. Isaac 2, I'll still be in the game. I'll be like this Deans. Elder Statesman of Isaac. I'm okay with that. Let's grab this real quick. That the IAA would approve of that, to give us maximum deal with the devil percentage. But Isaac 3, Isaac 4, when it really hits like League of Legends level potential, I'll have to be a coach. I'm okay with it. You know, you can't be in this business forever. You know, I've often thought, you know, like being a professional athlete is like, it's a really, really good situation. Most of the time. You know, especially depending on the sport. You know, you're going to make tons of money. Like in 1 year, even as like a below average player in the NHL, when you sign your first real contract outside of your entry league contract, you're going to get paid like $2 or $3 million a year. So in 1 year, you make as much or more than the average person makes in their entire working life. You get to do it doing something that you love. At the same time, I'm not saying there aren't negatives. You know, people sometimes, you know, they look at travel as a positive. This is dangerous, but travel can be a negative as well. You know, you got a young family. Uncertainty, you might have to move suddenly. Team decides, you know, your services are no longer necessary. They ship you out for a, you know, bag of peanuts or something like that. You got people constantly critiquing you while you do your job online. And you're just visible. 9 Lives would be so good here, by the way. you're just visible at all times, which I think, it's not like I'm living this life on the regular, but people who work normal jobs sometimes forget, you know, the right to be invisible is worth something, you know? Being famous, I don't know. Some people might be interested in it, but most of the time, you know, I imagine like being super wealthy is really cool, but being famous, you know, I'm like, you know, people recognize you, they tell you positive things, and that's nice, but your odds of being murdered by somebody who's just out of their mind and doesn't like something you said in an episode goes slightly up, you know. It's a give and take. But anyway, the main negative thing I think about being a professional athlete is that you have uncertainty about your career. You know, you've invested your 20s, well, your teenage years, your 20s, and then into your 30s, and sometimes your 40s into playing this thing that really, like, there's no end except retirement. Now, if you're good with your money, you saved it over the course of your career, right? And you're probably more than set, and, you know, you can... People will say, oh, just go work in broadcasting or something like that, but, you know... How many people retire from the NHL on a regular basis? Or any league, really? I should have just used... Well, I shouldn't have used anything there. That was silly. Blank rune could be what we need here. And how many people, you know, leave a broadcast job annually? Within the realm of the organization, probably lower, right? That's my 2 cents there. Okay, so we got to play you 100 times. This is going to take a bit. Just get used to it, I suppose. Hey... You got a mic? We've played this guy. I don't know if we played him 100 times, but we played him before. So we might not get it here, but we're going to use all our money for it regardless. Although I kind of also want to give this guy a little HP in the process as well. I want to preserve this run. So, you know, where I was going to spin this off to is, like, if you're really good... The average NHL player probably plays for, like, 4 or 5 years. You know, the really good players play forever. Well... You know, 15, 20 years sometimes. But the average NHL player, you know, you probably get a few good years. I'm sorry, there's nothing I could have done. You get a few good years at your highest earning potential, and, you know, you're set. And people are like, that's probably lower than average, but you got to remember about the players that get called up for like 6 NHL games and then, you know, never play again because they're career AHLers. But I digress. It's so much worse, I feel, as like a professional esports athlete. Like, these guys are really... It's a dream, I'm sure, to some extent, to be playing a video game that you love. But, like, to have almost all of your earnings, at least at the present climate, dictated by prize pool is extremely, like, high pressure. Like, that's not... by the way, I'm going to blank rune this. It's Yera. I figured we'd blank rune that because at least Abel's a passive, so it's worth something. We'll go pick up Abel here. And get the heck out of town. But then on top of that, like, when do you age out of esports? Like, there's probably esports players in their 30s. Esports athletes, I should say. I'm not going to get in the debate of whether they're really athletes or not. You know, we're going to call them athletes, okay? Just for nomenclatural purposes. When do you age out as an esports professional, you know? Whenever I see the international, I feel like the average age of the competing players is under 25. You don't understand, but that's like a lot of... You're giving up a lot to be a part of that. You know, if you win the international, that's amazing. If you come like top 8 in the international, that's incredible. And you probably, you know, the juice is worth the squeeze. But, you know, to give up potentially 6 or 7 years of your life for a career where you're probably going to be forced out by the next generation real quickly, find yourself lagging a little behind your peers in terms of, like, you know, education, job prospects, etc., etc. It's a big ask. That's why, like, I mean, streaming is, like, it's kind of the same, but it's not, because I think you could still... You have to have energy to be a streamer. But you don't age out as quickly, I think, as you age out in other industries. Like, I think what's going to get most streamers eventually is they're going to turn 50 and be like, do I really want to be yelled at by teenagers all the time? Not just teenagers. You get yelled at by all ages, by the way. What you had a problem with in that sentence was not that I accused you of yelling at people, but that I accused you of being younger than you actually are. Well, then take it with a grain of salt, I suppose. Really, this is representative of the problem with the situation, but anyway, I digress. But, you know, it's not like you're gonna hit 35 years old and be like, I can't talk anymore, probably. This might end up being an ironic statement in a few years, but I hope not. But yeah, as an esports athlete, you know, that's rough. And this sounds like I'm maybe being overly sympathetic, because they have a great job and does great duties, but the same thing can happen, you know, if you just get mired in retail or something like that. You know, circumstances can create that same situation without giving you the opportunity to win potentially hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars playing a video game. But you get the idea. I'm just saying, it's not all sunshine and roses. I'm not doing the traditional streamer thing and complaining about being a streamer. I'm actually complaining. I'm like, no wonder these esport athletes would turn into streaming when they're done. They're probably like, oh my god, this is 10 times easier. No kidding. That's why I didn't turn pro. I mean, I had the talent, the willpower, the connections, the raw, untapped skill level. I just decided, you know, I'd rather live a comfortable situation. I have a feeling this is where our run is gonna pop off. And I don't know if it's ever gonna come back once it gets up there. It's taking like all the willpower in my body right now to not pop the strength card. Which, the strength card could actually be exactly what we want to do. I don't know why you keep getting stopped so quickly, but don't let me stop you. It's got some kind of tear effect, like when we create a penny, it collides with it and stops it? I don't know. Yeah, it didn't really work that time. No, he's got to go. He's done. We didn't get hit. Dry Baby did it. We didn't get a deal with the devil, so it wasn't like we were playing for a deal with the devil, but in my head I was. Okay, let's go back to the shop. We still want an arcade next floor if possible. We didn't get quite the pop-off we're looking for. We need speed. 0.78 is too low. No chance at boss rush, largely because I think we wasted our time on that arcade, but we're kind of scaling down relative to the enemies as well. They're getting a little stronger faster than we're getting strong. That's okay. Certainly not bad stats. Ace of Hearts, probably irrelevant, but there may be an opportunity to use it to some decent effect here. Like, literally, like, right now is not bad. Okay. I'm willing to go pretty deep on this one. Okay, you're lucky. Because I think if this guy can give us another damage upgrade, we're going to be feeling real nice. Demon Baby. Not a damage upgrade, so to speak, but certainly not bad. We shouldn't have come to this room. You know, we could take 2 hits on this room pretty easily. If there's a champion, we could take 1 hit easily. HP, please? HP, please? HP. Okay. Now I feel a little safer. We're just trying to make sure we do at least check out our shop, knowing that we have a pretty nice, like, source of income coming on the regular. Also coming in the gym, coming in his car. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Pumping iron, we all remember. Dude, we've been rolling in Eternal Hearts. I think that might be our 3rd HP up thanks to Eternal Hearts this game, which is just stellar, like an Incubus song, really. Yeah, this run is like exactly the definition of probably being above average. Lots of good, and a relatively minor assortment of negativity right here. I wonder, like, it must be kind of, scary. I imagine it's kind of like being on Saturday Night Live or something like that when you retire as a professional athlete. Like most professional athletes, they're going to end up retiring kind of by accident, right? I mean, I'm coming from a hockey perspective here. And if you're looking at this conversation, by the way, and you're going, the AE sports ball, it's not like that. Have some empathy for your human beings here. I'm using it to talk about a very human situation. I want to get 1 more penny, please. I'd just like to have a chance to get to an arcade, please. Should I go back and blow up the... Nah, we've done it. We did okay. You know, we talked to our 3 Skull Monty. He exploded after like 10 plays. We can get an arcade on a future run and just keep it in the back of our head at least. You know, but like I'm sure when you leave SNL, you're like, I got an advantage, you know, that so many other people in their lives didn't get. But what now? You know, I still gotta live like another 50, 60, 70, maybe infinity years on planet Earth. You know, what am I gonna do with myself? It's gotta be tough. You're like, I don't know, I guess I'll go be an insurance agent? That seems to happen a lot. At least for hockey. They're like, so many, a lot of people work, you know, in the industry still, I'm sure, you know, coaches, trainers, etc., etc. But, you know, there's only so many coaching jobs, especially at the highest level. This feels like a secret room. Yeah. See, a lot of, there's like, in Ontario at least, there's so many like former NHL players that now run insurance agencies, and the commercials are always like exactly the same. It's always like, when I was on the ice, I like to play hard. Now I'll play hard for your interests. Jim Dory Insurance Agency. And I'm like, I don't know. Don't you feel like, I guess it's not necessarily a negative thing, but I think if I left YouTube, Twitch, and I started doing that sort of stuff, not that I have nearly the same degree of notoriety, but I would be like, am I getting customers because I'm a good insurance agent? Or am I getting customers because people just want to be like, hey, you know that guy we used to watch on Hockey Night in Canada? Yeah, that's our insurance agent. Isn't that weird? Hey, remember that Isaac dude? Yeah, now I'm one of his clients. I pay him $4 an hour to renew my auto insurance every year. Hey! We got real lucky there. Not that would be a bad thing, you know, however you can get customers is still an advantage, you know? Yo, pretty good, but... Yep, I think I walked into the fly. I had a plan. My plan was go over there and drop a bomb so you don't have to deal with fighting them. Not because it would be too difficult, but because I was worried that we were going to get hit, so... Still 28% chance of a deal with the devil. That's what I get for not picking up an extra spirit heart, I suppose. Just kind of a little snoozable run right here. I don't think I've ever seen that champion, have I? Wow. That's horrendous. Yeah, this run's slowing down more than I'm comfortable with. I've already been to our secret room. We probably want to keep a teleporter. Oh, this could be great. What do I even want, though? Can we get a speed upgrade in here? I don't think we need that. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing. BFF is really good for us. Dad's key is just... Like, it's not bad. It's just meaningless for us right now. And you know my perspective is... Well, my perspective is stupid. Because in my head, I'm like, why would I buy a spirit heart? I already ruined my deal with the devil chance. But we haven't. And moreover, we're not doing anything with the money anyway. So, you know, we'd prefer not to fight Hush. I don't know why in my head I'm like, well, don't throw good money after a bad mistake, you know? Kind of needlessly stubborn. Strength. We should use it because we're not going to use it on the mom fight. We're going to save the moon card to maybe help us get through the next floor a little faster. Ah, it's good stuff. In like half of a room having a strength card, I already got addicted and adjusted to like having good... speed. Again, I want to say, damage, rate of fire, and as an extension, DPS, not to mention BFF, helping us out here. Doing a lot of great work. I would be able to appreciate that work just a little bit more if you hit me with a little speed upgrade. It's like, you know, you got a wonderful ribeye steak. You want the flavor of the ribeye? You still put a little salt and pepper on it. I'm not even going to say it brings out the flavor of it. It just helps you appreciate it, you know? You still season a meat. You could turn that around. You'd be like, a beautiful ahi tuna. You don't salt it. But then again, you usually, unless you're having sashimi, you serve it over a vinegared rice. I refuse to call it sushi. That's cultural appropriation. All right, we're heading down to the next floor. We're going to have a 100% chance for a deal with the devil unless things go horribly wrong. Our secret room does appear, just, I was wrong, by the way, but it did appear to be closer. I don't like this room. just based on the way that the room was, or the floor was oriented. This would be a really, really, really good floor to pick up 2 extra guppy items. You know, we've been holding on to Fishtail for longer... Oh, I'm an idiot, actually. For longer than we should have. No doubt about that. Bloody Penny is actually more or less a guaranteed win if we had taken it. Oh, I was like, if we had 0.9 speed, we get out of the way of that. Things are going a little south here, but we can hold it together. I've got faith. Like this room, it's fine. You just skip it. Dark Bomb would also be an amazing pickup. This room, it'd be awesome. Just hit the snooze button there. I don't like dealing with tractor beams and bombs without having a speed stat of some decency. I can't believe we've gotten so many pennies, and yet our luck stat is still negative. Like, we had 1 luck downgrade, and we started in the negatives, and it stayed there. Again, that's not going to be what sinks us in this run, because our stats are still pretty okay. You know, when you can ride what essentially amounts to, like, your cave stats this far down, you know you're doing something right. And by doing something right, I mean essentially have been gifted a good chance to win by the game. Dark Bomb, you did a great thing there. Thank you so much. That's not our secret room, huh? Mr. Fred, I always forget this guy even exists. Seems to show up so rarely these days. Okay, so take it slow. Here's what you do. Don't even think about Mr. Fred. Just dust these little baby enemies first. And watch out for the slowly animated shot that leaves creep on the ground, and then also don't step on the creep. As long as we take care of the detritus, should preserve our 100% deal with the devil chance. As long as we don't get telefragged. These guys don't telefrag. Not as easily, at least. That's the one you want to watch out for. And that... You fool. We almost got hit. We made it. Dude, synth oil. Huge. For that actually pretty modest damage boost. And then... Okay, to be honest, we have so much HP, I'm actually going to willfully take Betrayal. Which is not what I would consider a winning move under most circumstances, but... In the end, if we lose this run, we are going to end up looking back on it and saying, you know what probably did it to us is a couple of whiffed deals with the devil. But I think we've still, you know, considering we have the Ankh... There goes that. Considering we have the Ankh, I think we got a great chance of a very modest and meager victory that I'd be happy with. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to initiate DoorDash protocol. Your boy NL is a genius, okay? Wife wants sushi. Happy wife, happy life. To be honest, I want some sushi as well. What I don't like to do is order it, and then you never know if it's going to arrive during a recording. So here's what I did. I put my order in, but I left us at the checkout window. Now I'm going to hit that place order button on the Womb 2. The Womb 2 Spider Roll Gambit. NL, you've done it again. Let's go. Estimated to arrive in 30 minutes. You genius. You absolute ledge. Okay, maybe a little bit too dramatic. This could be good. I still think this could be good. I do wish that I had kept Bloody Penny. I'll just level with you on that one. Okay, what's the pill? Something's wrong. That's fine, we'll just dump it. So we got 2 of these bad boys back here. We do have the Polaroid, so we can get a little aggressive. I'm gonna blow this guy up, because I don't think he tends to be that useful. Now I'd really like to just get some excess HP here. Just a little extra juice to play this Demon Judgment with, you know? Because I've done this to myself in the past. I thought there might be a secret room there. I've made some mistakes. I've heard fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. And I thank you all. Oh, no! But you've been no bed of roses. No pleasure cruise. Don't try. See, I got a bad habit, I guess, of trying to do that little weird dodge. And unfortunately, that dodge most of the time works, so the muscle memory is hard to break. But with 0.78 speed, it's not as easy as you'd think. So I think start with good HP here. Keep your HP high. You know the mom's heart fight can be a little annoying, so... This is almost certainly our second secret room. One of the rare situations in which we would love a second secret room full of red hearts. It's pretty quick. Spirit hearts, I should say. Still very good. Now, I'm sorry, Angel Statue, but, like, it's just too late for you to be very relevant. We got incredibly lucky. So here's how we're going to start this. We're going to use our HP to fight This is an IAA sanctioned move, by the way. We're going to use our maximum HP to fight Mom's heart. And then whatever we have left, we can make an executive decision about whether or not it's the right idea to use that on our arcade. We still want to go back and gamble a little bit on that dude because we might unlock counterfeit penny. Not that we need it, but we need it for 1,000,001%. Didn't beat our odds on a deal with the devil. That's extremely unsurprising. Okay, so this run has got every possible available chance for victory embedded deep within it right now. Let's make sure we're keeping it going. Okay. Something's wrong, huh? Yeah, something's wrong. You keep giving me garbage. I can't believe we still have question marks at this point. I'm more stunned than angry, really. A 1 tiers downgrade obviously is a slap in the face, and I'm very upset to see it happen, but in the whole scheme of things, it's not an enormous problem. Okay, so we're done here. I actually think that we should do some more rooms. Normally, I would not do this, but go ahead and break them off a little preview of the remix. I think we have an obligation to play that Demon Judgment a little bit more, because it seems like he's close, you know? A gambler's fallacy, I'll admit, but I think gambler's fallacy, people throw it out there and they don't fully understand it. It's plausible that Isaac is a game in which gambler's fallacy actually works because we don't know the rules of the game, you know? Demon Judgment, we already know right off the bat, its odds of paying out go up as time goes on. Not just as a function of the number of times that you've played it, but like the number of times it's played out on its first... Oh, that was terrible. Its first play is like less than 1%. The number of times it's paid out with an item on its 6th play is like 50%. So, again, if you're going to hit me with that gambler's fallacy, get ready to deal with the question about, you know, oh, did the odds stay exactly the same every time you play it? Because I don't think they freaking do. Demon Judgment, I think, has like a... you know, a buy or try modal kind of model of when it pays out. Sorry to hit you with the enumerational combinatorics, but... So we got 1 extra red heart. We're just gonna dump it. Go for broke. Yo, let's go. That's spun, right? Not spun. Not spun, but speed. Not spun, but speed. 1.08 speed. It's enough. It's enough to stop complaining mostly. We are going to take the half red heart, and we take it because we have little Chad who's going to pay out with half red hearts on the regular. Thank God we aren't getting Curse of the Your Map Sucks. Oh, that's dangerous. Please. Dry baby. Dry baby, please. Curse of the Your Map is garbage is very dangerous for us right here. Let's go. This is, again, IAA approved. You're in a tight spot. Use whatever remaining bombs you have to try to snag some excess spirit heartage. Now, the sad thing is, and this has been a fun run. This has been like a run that I would consider this to be like a good test. You know, you want to graduate from immediate level Isaac play into advanced level Isaac play. Do this run. Tell me how you did, and we'll, you know, we'll talk over it together and see if we can see where we could have improved, or even where you could have improved my play. To be honest with you. But the sad thing is, it's very unlikely to get much better on the chest. Our luck stat's low. We're gonna get those 4 items right off the top. But apart from that, I wouldn't expect any enormous kind of coups coming our way. I hate this room, but it's easier to go through it than it is to break it open with Dad's key. I'm not worried about our HP. We picked up quite a lot of red hearts. If we can keep that going, I'm going to be pretty happy. We got 3 spirit... No, we're almost out of spirit hearts. That's right. You know what? I don't love that room. I think we owe it to ourselves to skip the rooms we hate and use the Dad's key to our own advantage. I just realized, by the way, I was talking about, like, oh, we don't really need the key piece from the angel statue. Yeah, no, duh. We have Dad's key. So if we want to fight Mega Satan, we've had that capability for 200 years. I hate these newfound enemies. No second secret room. Thanks for the spirit heart. No secret room. Now that's a real surprise. I think, unfortunately, we want to take this one a little slowly. If we can make it through here without taking much damage, Any is maybe a little needlessly rigid, but if we can make it out of here without taking much damage, I think we're going to be relatively happy with what our world looks like on the next floor. Especially if we can actually see what our HP looks like. Remember, we got the Ankh. Ankh, you know, comes with permanent Polaroid invincibility. Not necessarily some stat gain. We've had the Ankh so many times recently. Like, it's leading to the creation of some myths in my own head about its efficacy. Lux, please. Can you not get luck upgrades from pennies derived from Head of the Keeper? It really feels like this is a dangerous line of reasoning. But it feels like if you could get luck upgrades from them, we would have by now, having picked up, like, probably, I don't know, 150 pennies that this item has dropped for us. Could just be a bad hit on the variance pipe, but I got no idea. Oh, that's my favorite song by, there's a better joke there. Oh, you've never heard of Bad Hit on the Variance Pipe? Guess you don't like math rock. Slint, Spiderland, all-time classic. Okay, you know that already. Let's get going. Let's get going. HP is looking like a snack. No? Yes? Sure. Probably yes. Okay, so step 1. For lack of... We should probably pick up some of our other items, but I gotta touch that D-Infinity, and I want to use Dad's key before we do so, just so I don't accidentally mess up the Mega Satan play. Because if we D100 ourselves into an amazing run, just a hypothetical example, we're gonna want to fight Mega Satan right off the bat. And it just goes to show you, you know, always look on the bright side of life, because you never know what you're gonna get. Kind of mixing movie metaphors there, but... Oh, you've never seen the Monty Python, The Life of Forrest Gump? It's a D6. We want this. I think we want this, honestly. And now we don't want any of these, but we might as well at least move closer to Bookworm. Amazing item. An amazing item. Both of these are very good. Actually, Sack Dagger is really good. It's going to be a lot better for clearing rooms. It's another speed upgrade. It's going to be a lot better for clearing rooms than it is for fighting Mega Satan, because we don't really want to get close to Mega Satan, but a BFF Sack Dagger is nothing to sneeze at. Now, we're doing these rooms. I do plan to fight Mega Satan. I'm doing these rooms hoping for charges that maybe could get us to a D100 and give us a run that's more Mega Satanable. This current run might be able to do it. Ugh. And D20's got... Just don't pick up pennies as they drop, and you might find yourself with a good room to D20. You get a bunch of items out of it. That was not smart. I think we want to kill Virus, or kill Lust last. I don't even know who's alive. Okay, well that's not going to happen. What I meant to say is kill this guy last. We do have the D100. So we're going to get like one chance And it really, at this point, I gotta consider this like tournament Isaac play. You know, would we rather... Do we think this run's better or worse than average? I think it's better, but I don't know. I think I almost have to go for the reroll. Sack Dagger is doing so much damage. I think it's mind flooding me into thinking this run's better than it actually is. So we got Guppy, and we got Eden's Blessing. So already, right off the bat, I'm like extremely good. Stats-wise, I mean, it seems better. Our speed's a lot better. I can't remember what our damage stat was, but it was roughly like in this wheelhouse. And then we're gonna be summoning doubled flies, so I think this probably does it for us. I think this was probably an enormous get. That's really good. That just, honestly, I gotta be proud of today's run. Because it didn't always, it started looking super strong, but it didn't always look like it was a guaranteed victory. I think we have spun in here as well, if I'm being honest with you. And not only did we win the run, and like we are going to win the run, we have Lusty Blood and Serpent's Kiss, oh my god. Or some kind of, you know, tier effect that allows us to get Lusty Blood and Serpent's Kiss. Or just Serpent's Kiss, because Lusty Blood is static, but disregard. Anyway, we also made our next run better, or at least added another item to our next run, which admittedly does also offer the chance that it could get much, much worse if we start with, like, Cursed Eye, but let's try not to think about things that way. This was just a nice, fundamentally sound Isaac run. And we took some risks, and you know what? I feel like I'm not much for spiritualism or yoga, misaligned chakras, but I feel like I found my spiritual center again on this Isaac run. I didn't rush. I played fundamentally better than I've recently done. And you know what? I think we need to stick to our guns. I'm sorry, Delirium, you might throw a monkey wrench into my plan even though the run looks good. I'm gonna see you. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.